The Arthritis Foundation is the largest national nonprofit organization solely dedicated to the prevention, control, and cure of arthritis. And I'm very happy to have some very special guests today. Joining us today are first our Arthritis Foundation Walk Coordinator, and that is Cathy. Hello, Cathy. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And Cathy Spencer is going to be giving us a little bit of an education on arthritis. I also want to mention my new favorite guest ever, who's just absolutely beautiful, 2-year-old Kylie Williams. And hi, Kylie. You look so beautiful. I told Kylie I wanted her dress. She is beautiful. Now, Kylie was diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis when she was only 15 months old, and Kylie's beautiful mom, Cathy Williams, is here as well. So thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
And our furry friend on the set is Annie. Hello, Annie. Annie is extremely well behaved, right, Kylie? Can you believe what a good dog Annie is? And she is doing. Is she always this well behaved?
Always.
And tell us your name for me. I'm so sorry.
My name is Midge Springer.
Midge Springer is with us today as well, and thank you for bringing Annie. And this is a really important topic, and so what I want to first talk about is what arthritis is. So Cathy, can you enlighten us a little bit? Give us a little education.
Arthritis is a disease of the immune system. It's an autoimmune disease in which the body actually attacks itself. It's hard to specify because there's over 100 different types of arthritis.
Wow.
Most people know about rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis are the ones that people generally know about, but arthritis can also include fibromyalgia, lupus, and gout.
Well, what are some of the symptoms that we need to look for?
The main symptoms that people seem to notice is pain in the joints, fatigue, and just an overall tiredness. A lot of inflammation. Inflammation is a lot of part of it. So those are the main things. But because arthritis can attack anywhere in the body, not just the bones, it can also attack other organs in the body. So morning stiffness tends to be the first thing that people notice, and then just an overall sense of fatigue.
Exactly. And now with all of these being the symptoms that we need to look for, what are the actual causes that get us into that situation in the first place?
It's hard to say because there's not actually one cause for arthritis. It can be genetic, it can be environmental. Sometimes people sustain an injury and they develop arthritis after that. So there's not one main thing that causes arthritis. It can be a number of things, and there can actually be very few symptoms, and people question, what's going on with me, and then they realize that arthritis can affect anyone at any age.
And let's get right to that. Any age, indeed, and that's why we want to talk to Cathy, because your daughter, beautiful Kylie here, she was diagnosed, as I mentioned, with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis at only 15 months. So she's loving Annie, by the way. I love that. So let me ask you this, because I know there's a lot of parents out there that could be sensing something might be wrong. So what made you think something might be wrong and that you needed to look into what was going on with Kylie?
Well, it started in the mornings. She would wake up, and for a couple hours throughout the day, throughout the week, a couple days a week, she would not put any weight on her left leg. But then it would only go for like an hour or two, and then she would be fine. Okay. And then she would go on her day. Gradually, it went for a longer period of the day, to the ibuprofen I was giving her wasn't working, and then all the way to no weight bearing on her legs.
Wow.
So she couldn't walk.
Oh my God.
And there was one that she was in a brace. She had the hip dysplasia at 2 months old also.
Well, it looks like she's doing really well. I mean, she's so mobile, and I guess part of that is from the treatments. Oh, look at that precious baby. Is that you, Kylie? What a beautiful baby. See, and even more beautiful today. And I would imagine, like I said, that the treatments that she's received have really helped her. So can you tell us a little bit about those treatments? Yes,
they start you off with an ibuprofen, a low, anti-inflammatory drug. Okay. But we had to go all the way up as high as a methotrexate, which is a low chemotherapy drug for Kylie.
Wow.
And so we were doing it orally, where I was withdrawing it with the syringes, and then being able to take the needle off and give it to her orally. Okay. Well, now the inflammation has went to her eye. It's went to her. We've been battling it in her eye for the last year. It was a year ago this month.
My goodness.
And so now she has an injection. We have to give her a shot every Monday. Wow. And so then she's also on folic acid and other medicines throughout every single day.
So she's a brave. So Kylie, you're a brave little girl. You are a very brave little girl. And I mean, and I think that just having the calmness around her and having people around her to let her know that, hey, there's other kids going through this too. And a lot of times we associate arthritis with older, the older generation. But guess what? Young kids and dogs, even like Annie. In fact, Annie is actually very special because she actually has a special title. Why don't you tell us about her title?
Well, Annie is a rescue dog. I picked her up off of the street very early one morning, and I tried for several weeks to find her owner, to no avail. And so this was like 7 or 8 years ago, and she's still with me. She gets a little bit stiff and sore sometimes, but with a little regular exercise and some doggy medication, she acts like a young puppy.
Really? Oh, I love to hear that. Well, she's actually going to be this year's Dog Walk Hero. So, Cathy, talk about what the heroes are all about.
Well, one of the main things, with Annie, we'll start with Annie, is that people do not realize that dogs get arthritis too. They experience the same symptoms as people: morning stiffness, just inability, fatigue. So we had a contest, and Annie was chosen as our dog hero to create an awareness that dogs get arthritis too. And obviously, we wanted to create the same awareness for our children, Kylie and Estevan, who were both diagnosed at about 15 months, that kids can get arthritis too. It's not just your older person's disease. It can affect anyone.
Yes, and you mentioned Estevan. Let me just let everybody know real quickly that Estevan Bazin was also diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis just before he turned 2. So also very young.
Yes.
But he is doing very well also.
Estevan is doing very well also. He plays sports. He does all kinds of activities. He stays very mobile, which is one of the key factors of arthritis. So keep moving and doing great.
I love to hear that. And obviously, our little friend here on the set is having a really good time, too.
Absolutely.
This is the most I'm distracted. She's just too precious. I want to ask you a little bit about the foundation also, because it's important. The Arthritis Foundation is the world's largest nonprofit contributor to arthritis research. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the fundraising efforts being done?
Yes. The main fundraiser that we hold all across the United States in the spring, summertime is our Arthritis Foundation Walk. It is a total donation type pledge, donations that go into fundraising and raising funds for each of the local communities to support the programs that they decide. And then there's other little activities through the year, but the Arthritis Walk is the main event every year.
Wonderful. And we want to allow everybody to participate by giving our viewers information about the new Mexico Arthritis Walk that is coming up, as Cathy mentioned. That is going to be Saturday, July 30th, and you can certainly get more information. Just take a look at the screen. All the details are there. Get your pens out, jot it all down, and of course you can call 505, my eyes are so bad, 883-0343 for more information on the Arthritis Foundation and to be able to make contributions. And I just want to ask you, Cami, I mean, when you see somebody like Estevan, doesn't that give you a lot of encouragement too for Kylie's future?
It does. It really, really does.
Wonderful.
When she got diagnosed, you don't realize how bad it is until somebody in your family or someone close to you gets diagnosed with a disease like this.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing a wonderful job with your daughter. Thank you all so much for being with us today. Thank you, beautiful Kylie, and thanks, Annie, and thanks to all of you as well. Thanks for bringing awareness to a very important subject, really. And things keep getting better and better at Vernon's Hidden Valley Steakhouse. Coming up next, we'll tell you what's new at Albuquerque's favorite speakeasy.